Hi everyone, this is Julianne Victoria of Through the Peacock's Eyes. Welcome to my channel. So this is my next deck tour series video and I'm going to talk about fairy decks. I just recently joined a fairy book club Facebook group hosted by Lavender Moon. She has a YouTube channel. And I just made a video answering the questions she put out to the group, to questions about fairies for us. So I will link that video on screen for you if you're interested. But because of that topic, I thought I'd talk about fairy decks like Amber at Lavender Moon did, because that made me realize how many fairy decks I have. I actually have 4 Oracle fairy decks and 4 Tarot fairy decks. For some reason, I didn't think I had that many, but here we are. So let's start with the Oracle decks. Let's start with my favorite one. And this is one that comes in a big box. It is the Fairies Oracle by Brian Froud. And for those who are familiar, aren't familiar, Brian Froud is a well-known fairy artist. And I do believe he does connect and see the fairies. It comes with this full-size hardcover book. The deck has 66 cards. And for each card, there are 2-ish pages of writing, approximately 2.5, some are 3. So pretty in-depth write-up. I won't read through because it will just make this a super long video. Write-up of the cards. And I'll show you some of the cards here. I do have them in order. Often when I'm clearing decks, I reorder them. So some of them are represented as sort of light beings, or you can even say orbs of light. This is number 1, Unity. Number 2, Ecstasis. The font is a little difficult to read, so I won't read through them, but I'll show you some of the light beings. And then, skip ahead here. There are images of what many people might think of or imagine or have seen as fairies. And they're all very different. And this is a deck, it's not so much an oracle deck to get an answer to a specific question. It's more for deeper connection to the fairy realm, to their guidance, working with their energy. Piper. And you can definitely see and feel the personalities of the individual fairies here. Just beautiful. Okay, so that is the Brian Froud Fairies Oracle. This is the back. I don't think I showed the back. The next one is, to me, it's a very playful one. It's the Fairy Guidance Oracle by Paulina Cassidy. I have her Joie de Vivre tarot deck and her Witchlings Oracle. Then I saw she had this, so I thought I'd get it. It comes with a square, very thick book called the Fairy Reflections. So it has like a few pages on each of the fairies. And then, of course, reflections on that fairy's message at the end. So the cards have the message. So I have happiness here. And at the bottom it says happiness is an overall state of complete being. So it has a little message. So the card word or keyword and a little message. Meditation will bring you clarity of mind and a sense of inner peace. I won't read through each one, but I'll show you, give you an idea of her artwork if you're not familiar with her artwork. She also has her Paulina tarot, which I don't have. I almost bought it and then I saw the Joie de Vivre and I'm very happy. I have that one. I love that deck. Wisdom. Okay, so that gives you an idea of that deck. And this is the back. Very Paulina Cassidy. Okay, and this is a 40 card deck. I just dropped one. Okay. The next one, let's talk about this one. I talked about this one before in my Hay House, or I did a video on my Hay House decks. I've since gotten, I don't know, a couple more. But I talked about this one already in that video, so I'll just show you briefly. It is the Healing with the Fairies Oracle Cards by Doreen Virtue. As you can see, it's a 44 card deck, as all her decks are. And of course, many of you know she's gone through a major shift, which is fine, but I think it was late January, she caused a big, for some people, an uproar, for some people a hurt, for some people it just made her write her off because she sort of dissed everything in the New Age community. You can just Google search or YouTube search if you want to find out more about that. But I did get this deck because I didn't have any Doreen Virtue decks. I just was never really connected to her decks or wanted to buy anything she had. But it was only $4, and I thought, well, I'll get it and see what it's like. So it comes with a little guidebook and just a little page for each of the cards. Now, this is an oracle deck that's very much like oracle answers. Like, what do I need to know about this situation, or what guidance do I need? Right? It's very specific. So I'll show you some of the cards. Oh, this is the back. Has a beautiful butterfly. So we have making new friends. So it's very answer specific, I would say. Beauty. Make music. I'm not crazy about the artwork. Creative expression. Peace of mind. Detoxification. Body movement. So, you know, if your question was like, what do I need to focus on today? And you got family harmony. It's like, okay, well, I'll spend time with my family. Be honest with yourself. Breaking free. Parenting and children. Positive expectations. I actually like the artwork on these darker ones. Vacation. So that gives you an idea of that deck. I believe all her decks are still available through Hay House. I don't really use this deck though. And then my third oracle deck is the fourth oracle deck is the Fairy Oracle by Arthur Rackham. And there is a tarot deck with his artwork that is fairly new, and I've thought about getting it. I just don't know if the artwork is like repeating artwork or not. If you have both this oracle and the tarot deck, let me know if the artwork repeats. But I am thinking about getting the tarot deck as a collection of his artwork, because I do love the sort of old vintagey fairy artwork that he has created or had created. So it comes with a little white book guidebook. It is by Lo Scarabeo, so it's in multiple languages. So it's just a little paragraph per card. And the cards are numbered. There's no keywords on the card at all. So you either work with the image, meditate on that, path work through it, or you have to use the little guidebook, little white book. So I'll just show you some of the images here. I just love it as a collection of artwork more than anything, actually. So you get an idea. Love this one. Some might be a little scary. Some more fun and playful. Some just beautiful. Okay, so that's that one. Oh, and the backs look like this. Little cherub fairies on them. Or babies and fairies. I always think that those are cherubs at first glance. Okay, so those are the fairy oracle decks I have. Now for the tarot decks. So this is one of my oldest tarot decks. I've had this for ages. It is the Mystic Fairy Tarot by Barbara Moore. I don't have the box. I actually keep it in this little bag here. Just checking on my baby. And these are the backs. So it's sort of a goldish light green color. The sides are not colored. This is just how old the deck is. It used to be white. How much I have used it. Very well-loved deck. So I'll show you some of the images. We have the Star, King of Pentacles, Five of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, the Hanged Fae, Knight of Swords, the Fool, Four of Wands, the Chariot. I love this Death card. It's just, to me, it's like powerful feminine energy. We're like, you know, in religions and mythology, there's the feminine, the mother is often both a death goddess and a birth goddess because she's part of that cycle. If I'm making sense here, that's what I feel here. A couple more. The Ace of Cups, Three of Wands. Let me see if I can. Oh, I love this one. The Seven of Swords. She's trying to save the rose. And here we have the Devil. Very Pan-like. Okay, so that is the Mystic Fairy Tarot. The next one is the Tarot of the She by Emily Carding. It comes with a little white book, couple pages or so for the majors, and I believe it's less, yeah. And then just small portions for the minors. It's a little larger than normal tarot deck. Lovely back with the spiral there. And I'll show you some of the cards. It's a thick deck as well. So the suits are renamed in this deck. So we have Dreamer 6, Insights Voyage. So it also has keywords for the cards. Warrior Queen, Gift of Charm. So that's fire or wands. Maker 7, makers are earth, effort sustained. The World, so it has the World Tree. Maker 6, generosity. So some do kind of fit the Rider-Waite keywords. The Moon, or associations, I should say. Dreamer 10, so dreamers are swords, and it's desolation. So 10 of Swords. The Tower. I'll just show a few more here so you get an idea of the artwork. So for me, this is a very powerful deck to work with. It does take time to adjust to the different names of the suits and possibly the keywords if you're not used to that. If you don't like keywords on cards, this would not be a deck for you. Pan for the Devil. And we'll leave with the Sun there. Okay, so that is the Tarot of the She. And then a newer deck to me is Tarot of the Hidden Realms. And if you follow my channel, you know I've used this on and off for the weeklies and some of the moon videos as well. I love this deck too. I'm very happy with my Faerie Tarot and most of my Oracle. So this is the book, a full-size book. It is another Barbara Moore deck, and about 2 pages or so per card, so pretty good write-up. There's, of course, spreads. I mean, most books will have some spreads and stuff. You guys probably know that. This is the back. I love that. To me, it's a dragon face. And I'll show you some of the cards here. So it's mostly borderless. King of Pentacles. Life Renewed, which would be Judgment. 10 of Wands. Page of Pentacles. Seven of Cups, the Hierophant, Knight of Cups, Temperance. Just soft and beautiful, but it also has power to it. Yeah, I've been really enjoying working with this deck. The only challenge I have is on this one card. It kind of cracks me up. Is this one, the Magician. Because I see this and I'm like, oh, he's such a player. But it's that trickster magician energy that I get with this card. So that card kind of cracks me up, but I'm absolutely loving working with this deck. And then lastly, my fourth Fairy Tarot. I don't know if this is intended to be a fairy deck or that was the plan with the creator. She did work with Barbara Moore on this, but I see it as a fairy deck, and that is the Shadowscapes Tarot. So I just have it in a little box. I know there's bigger box sets out there with large books, but I just have this little box and the little white book, and it just has like, whoops, so I throw it out of my hand just a little bit on the cards. But I do think there is a bigger box set with a full guidebook out there. I think I've seen that. Here's the back of the cards. And I'll show you some of them. So here we have the Hierophant. So this is very detailed pastel artwork. It's not the best deck for on camera, so I don't use it a whole lot because just all that's in the image doesn't come through. But I do love this deck. So we have the Hierophant, the World, King of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. This is a kind of deck if you wanted to really study the artwork and the imagery to get everything out of it. I mean, you could spend hours for some of the cards just staring at them and looking at all the fine details. So there we have Death. For some people don't like that at all. Like it's like too busy. So you'll have to judge for yourself what you like. Queen of Cups. I love that Queen of Cups. Four of Swords. I tend to go either way, like detailed, less detailed. I just work with whatever the deck has. There we have the Devil. Eight of Pentacles. I love this. It's a spider. 10 of Swords. So even though these aren't necessarily fairies, I see this as a fairy nature being deck. Chariot, Two of Swords. I love the heart suspended there. Seven of Swords. A beautiful Judgment. So I'll leave that there. Okay, those are my 8 fairy decks. 4 Oracle, 4 Tarot decks. Yeah, another video for my deck tour series. I never feel like, I guess it's not supposed to be done, a series that I finish, but I may at some point. But yeah, let me know what you think of the fairy decks, but also especially those who have the Arthur Rackham Tarot deck and you have the Oracle deck. If there is a lot of overlap in the images, I'm curious to know that. I guess I can find there's probably some walkthroughs out there now that I can sit down and do that with when I have time. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed these fairy decks. I'll link on screen the video I did for the video response questions for the fairy book discussion group if you're interested in that. Otherwise, thank you for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing, and I'll see you back here soon.